I think about it often now, right? When I was on the show and I was filming the show, it's just something I did, right? I enjoyed it. I loved it, but you don't really realize maybe the impact that it does have until literally almost 20 years later. Yeah, we're almost 20 years later since the show ended. And the fact that people come up to me all the time and tell me how much they love the show and how they're still watching it, or they have kids now and they're showing their kids and, and rewatching it. It's pretty remarkable. I recently just flew to Ecuador where I've never been. And I couldn't believe how popular Malcolm was. Like everyone knew Malcolm, but not in a, oh, I like your show. Like it affected their lives. And it was a really weird feeling, like I said, because I'm just me, but it does feel good to know that I was a part of something that people love and appreciate. So, I have a lot of people ask me, like, I wish the references would stop, or we're using, like, I'm not in the middle even for this, right? But it's one of the greatest things that could have ever happened to me. I'm so lucky to have been a part of something that people love all these years later. And so I don't know. I think it's a good thing. I do. I talked to Bryan Cranston a fair amount. He's always been like a father figure to me since the show ended, and always kind of checked in on what I was doing, where I was. If I was in a band, he came to the shows. If I'm racing now, he comes to the races or checks in and watches on TV and tells me how he's watching. So that's always been amazing. But we've all actually been communicating a little bit lately. Just, it's almost the 20-year anniversary since the show ended. And it's crazy to think that it's been that long. But, we're all, I turned 40 next year, right? So, like, I'm almost the age, I thought of this, I'm almost the age that Bryan Cranston and Jane Kasmerick were when Malcolm started, when they were our parents. It's a weird thought, right? But we all have families of our own. We have kids now ourselves. So we want to get the gang together for sure. And I think it'd be fun just to kind of catch back up. I always say that when you do a show, and maybe this isn't for everybody, but this was my experience, like, I compare it to almost like summer camp, where you go to summer camp and you meet the most amazing friends ever. And you're like, we're going to be best friends forever. I'm going to write you every day. And you get home and you write once or twice. And then it's like a month in between. And then it's like 5 months in between. You're like, how's it been a year? Your lives kind of just not move on, but like you get busy doing other things. And, unfortunately that happened to us. So I'm excited for us to get the gang back together and catch back up. When the show was on, I didn't watch it. Right. It wasn't like these days where you could just put it on and binge it or, stream it, all 151 episodes. You had to watch it on the time that it was on, or you had to put the VCR in and make sure it was recording. So I never really saw the show, but a few years ago, I watched it with my wife because she had never seen the show. And I don't know, it made me so grateful. The show was something completely different than I thought we were making, as weird as that sounds, but it made me go, man, I have to know what Malcolm and his family are up to now. Like, because the possibilities are really endless. So there's definitely been talk about it. I know that, it's not up to me for it to happen, but I would definitely love it. And we'll see what happens for sure. As somebody who, now with my racing, I've done 529,000 miles this year on flights. So when they approached me, I was super excited. I was really excited to see what they are doing, the changes they are making with, especially with the Go Comfy that I'm doing, that I'm part of the campaign for. But with Go Big, Go Comfy, Go Savvy, they're new things that they're just trying to implement and make the experience better for consumers. I thought it was a good fit for me as someone who's going to use the service a lot. So I'm excited to be a part of it. I'll say this, people come up to me my whole life, right? And everybody thinks they're so funny when they go, put Frankie in the middle, put him in the middle. And I always say to them, kind of joking, I go, a photo with me on the side is really rare, and I've definitely seen a fair number of tweets when I am stuck in the middle seat where they go, I saw Frankie Muniz on a plane and he was in the middle, So now with Go Comfy, I don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? I'm good. Got my aisle, got my space. But I think it was a great idea, especially, it does fit how people know me, you know what I mean? And I could use that to help get the message across of what they're doing. But, it's funny because, like, you don't realize, even when we were filming and I was sitting in the seats, you don't realize the difference of that guaranteed no one being in the middle seat, like what that makes on like your travel experience. I don't know if you've ever been on a plane, you're like waiting, like going, oh, please, the seat's open. Please don't anyone come. Please don't anyone come. And you feel like you won the lottery when no one comes. So the fact that, it's guaranteed, I think that's an added bonus.